I am not a feminist. This new age feminist, I'm not that.
I'm not either.
I believe in some gender roles still, some traditional gender roles. My husband takes out the trash, I wash the dishes, and I'm fine with that. My husband doesn't touch a dish, and I don't touch the trash, and I'm fine with that. That works for me and my household.
Hey, so actually, what you are describing doesn't take you out of the realm of being a feminist. Let me tell you why. The fact that you and your husband have negotiated and agree to those duties in your relationship indicates that you have the power to negotiate and agree. The thing about feminism is we want to be able to negotiate those duties without consequence. Back in the day, women didn't have the structural power or the systematic power, still does not in a lot of areas, to actually negotiate what they wanted out of their marriage because the man held the power. We couldn't get bank accounts. We couldn't get credit cards. We couldn't own property. We couldn't own businesses. So we were stuck in relationship with no power to negotiate what we agree upon in this marriage. So aligning with traditional wants and values does not take you out of being a feminist. You feeling that your opinion and wants matter just as much as his is what puts you smack dab into the pillar of being a feminist. You believe that your opinion and what you want should matter just as much as his. It's not about being traditional or doing traditional things. You can do all the traditional things you want. I love a man to open up the door for me. I love the man to do some of these traditional things that I want, but it is about us agreeing, and we both have the power to say, this is what I want. What do you want? Da 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 da. And we can freely say our wants without consequences, and we can make it work for the both of us. That power that we both have is the core tenet of being a feminist. That power. Got it? It's that balance of power. I hope you understand that. I know the men have taken feminism out of its context, but it's really about that. That is simply what it's about. We don't need to be forced into certain situations, forced into certain roles, because we don't have the money, the resources, or the power to be able to negotiate what we want in the marriage. Back in the day, they didn't get to use to do that, sweetie. You being able to negotiate that without consequence is the fruits of the labor of feminist. Your ancestors, they may not have called themselves feminist, but when they were working the mills, working in the chicken plants, working in the factories, and they were doing the same job as the men, and they were getting paid less, in their mind, they said, oh my God, I'm doing the same job as them. I should be getting paid the same amount. That's fair. They were a feminist. That was a feminist thought. They were a feminist. Your ancestors who worked, who were maids and laundresses alongside their men who were going somewhere to work, and they were working too and taking care of the children. When they were having in their mindset, God, this is a lot of kin keeping. This is a lot of work on me. I'm not only doing the housework, but I'm also going out doing the work. Both kind of works. And all he doing is going to do that work and coming home and laying out while I'm cooking and cleaning and doing all this kind of stuff. That's an imbalance of duties. And when she said, God, this should be more fair. You need to be doing something around this house too. That is a feminist thought. That's feminism. I feel like these duties should be balanced equally. But back in the day, when she made that declaration, she didn't have the power to do anything about it because the man held the power. He had the bank account. He had the checkbook. He had his name on the businesses because the bank literally would not give you a business as a woman, would not give you a bank account as a woman, you don't have access to any of this. House, all the things that build wealth, you have access to none of that. So while you can have those feminist thoughts, you don't have the structural power to make better decisions, to make decisions to leave this imbalanced situation. That's just the way the world is. But that thought is a feminist thought. And those are women examples. Let's talk about men examples. Back in the 70s, Ruth Bader Ginsburg defended a case where the man was the sole caregiver of his elderly mother. And he tried to do a tax write-off, a tax deduction, and he was denied because he was an unmarried man. And because back in them days, women get to get that tax write-off because they were the caregivers. But because he was a man, they saw him like, no, your ass is supposed to get out here and work. But he was like, no, I can't work because I'm taking care of my elderly mother. And so Ruth defended the case and won because it showed a discrimination that was based on gender bias that was negatively affecting this man. And so that opened up the door for the Supreme Court and the court system to actually examine these cases. So in conclusion, being a feminist is not about being against gender roles. It's about being against women not having the power to choose whether or not they want to participate in those gender roles. That is what it's about. That's what the multiple feminist movements have been about dismantling the systems and the traditions that doesn't give us power to choose the life of those roles. If we want to go outside of it, can we do that and still take care of our needs? That's what feminism is. It's not, I want to wash the dishes. You can wash the dishes, girl. You can wash the dishes. Your man can take out the trash. You can wear your dresses. You can be a Stepford wife and still be a feminist.